And we'll see if this helps any. That would be great. That would be great if that didn't happen. That would be lovely. I'm gonna pop out the chat for the YouTube side. Once I'm back live there, please let me know if we're having any issues there. Hope not. I did make an adjustment. And let's hope this gets more stable. To the... Yes. Okay. All good. All right. I'm going to try to get the TikTok goal set, or the YouTube goal set back up here. It was spicy story and confetti. All right. I had to set up a new stream on the YouTube side. I thought if I got it, stabilized quickly, I could jump back onto the same stream, which I've been able to do before, but it took me too long, I guess. So I'm starting the goal on the TikTok or on the YouTube side back up. All seems good so far. Heyo. All right. Oh, Willow, that would be terrible. Angel, remember for 20 months, Dad has shaved his beard 2 times in 40 years. In both cases, he made his daughters cry. Do not touch your beard.
Answer is no.
Candy Thunder says the answer is no. No. I start a riot. Joyce, thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. PST, Hatter. Writing it down. Which is what for me? 3? Is that right? 3 or 1? 2? 2. I don't know. Math is hard. Hatter, so you said it was 2 p.m. for us? And that's Thursday. Got it. Only if Candy approves, she wouldn't. Nina, the last pic that I have of me beardless is from ages ago. I mean, how many years?
It's probably been a decade.
Yeah, at least a decade. Navy wouldn't recognize me anymore. It would be terrible. It would not be good. It's a very special day on Thursday. Heck yeah. So Thursdays are 4 p.m. Oh, yeah. That's right. It goes the other way, at least. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Math is hard. And we just spent some days in Arizona where it was even more difficult because there's no daylight savings time there. Matt, why? Yeah.
It's the same time in Arizona. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Math is hard.
During daylight savings.
Math is too hard. Risa dropping the 5 on the YouTube side said, okay, popping in to say hi. I'm saving lives to watch for after surgery on Friday. LOL. Yes, again, number 26. Number 26. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the love, by the way. Greatly appreciate that. I hate time math. Why is it even a thing? Time math is the worst. It's so difficult. Navy would not. She would not recognize me. She would think I was a stranger. It would be a big deal. It'd be a big deal. Hey, before we get started today, I have a special guest to introduce you to. My niece Tessa is here today, job shadowing. We've already I walked her through stream setup, and we did a little interview, Candy Thunder and I did with Tessa for a class where we talked about our jobs, but she's here observing the stream today. So we've got to introduce her. Tessa, come on up and say hi. Say hello. Say hello to Tessa, ladies and gents. Go ahead and step up on the mat there. We'll get the mic down to you here. So tell chat what you're doing today.
Today I'm job shadowing my uncle, and because I want to do like marketing and stuff whenever I'm older, and my school does this thing to where if you fill out a form, you can go to like say like a teacher or like anyone that you want to do, like if you want to do that whenever you're older, and you can go like watch them and observe and just learn more stuff about the job.
Yeah. So hang around up here. I'm not done interviewing you yet. The tables have turned. So you're wanting to get into marketing and stuff. What is it that appeals, or what is it about marketing that appeals to you?
I feel like it's really cool, like getting to work with like different people and like getting to show like different stuff and like getting to work on that.
Yeah. And I think marketing is one of those worlds where you never really get bored, because you're doing different stuff so often, like all over the place. So yeah, super cool. Very, very cool. So she'll be here monitoring as the madness kind of unfolds today, and I'm sure we'll bring her up a couple more times as we go. But please give a big hello and howdy do to Tessa. And
Ava Lynn's. So Ava's been on.
yeah, Ava Lynn has been on. This is not Tipsy Thunder's daughter. This is my older sister Bree's daughter. And it's, I was trying to think about like what uncles do you have? Is it just John?
Yeah, and then I have one on my dad's side.
Okay. I'm the coolest one, right? Out of all of them. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. All right, we'll bring you back up here in just a little bit. Thanks for hanging out with us, Tessa. It's always fun. It's always fun to have shadows and observers here. It is. I think when Paisley came, she sat right in that chair too. She's watched the stream several times, and she afterwards said that it was boring being here watching behind the scenes because what you see on camera with all the music and animations and stuff, like it's just a very different experience than it is sitting here and watching behind the scenes and like having to be quiet and stuff. So yeah, it is a very cool program for the school. We're thankful for them letting her get out here, and heck yes, Adventures with Pam. She looks so much like your daughter. There are a lot of family traits that run through like all of the cousins. It's pretty wild. Big family pictures. Oh my gosh, you found an unbearded photo.
That's when you shave.
That's from eons ago. Oh, that was from the accidental shaving. Yeah. Let's not share that.
I found it.
Let's not share that. Also, exposure for live programming, Miss AJ. Yeah, and live programming, I feel like is becoming more and more of a thing on the marketing side. So it is a great thing to get exposed to. You were like, wait, we know this kid? Don't share it. Don't share it. No.
It grew back in like 2 weeks.
It did. I just had to grunt really hard, and it grew back like next day. Like SpongeBob when the dude grows a mustache by grunting. Yeah. I'm outvoted. Oh man.
First day that we reconnected from the video.
Oh my gosh, I was beardless then too. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, let's rock and roll, ladies and gents. Coming up, we have stories about uncomfortable roommate disagreements, airport pickup miscommunications, babysitting dilemmas, friends versus partners, tricky friendships, postponed birthday plans, plus we have a spicy cake story, a spicy brozo story, and a special shitty story. That's what the document says. I know nothing else, but I'm guessing it has to do with poo. The first goal on the TikTok side is 4K bolts to get Candy Thunder up here. We're already at 1K of those, so you guys are already rocking it out. On the YouTube side, we have a super goal of 10 supers to start for a spicy story. I think we had already knocked out... I don't know if we had knocked out any of them before I had to kill the stream and restart it. So if we have, I'm sorry. I had to start a new stream up whenever we got booted back up over here. We do have a likes goal of 300K likes. And the shares goal is 1,800 shares. Again, we are not tracking those with the progress bar because I'm trying to not, trying to run as few programs as possible here. I missed super. I will go back up and find it. Scrolling. Elise dropped the 5 on the YouTube side, said, I will miss Sunday and Wednesday live next week. I'll be in Nashville. Then 2 weeks later, I'm in Vegas and I'll miss those lives. Look, lady. Thank you for the super. But look, lady, just because you're in another town doesn't mean you can't watch the stream. You're taking your phone with you, right? Right? That's an unexcused absence. We'll be keeping track. You will get a letter from HR. What's up, Elizabeth in South Mississippi? Brianna? Oh, Brie, the people have spoken? No. It's the beard is much better, I promise.
Bree's here.
Yeah, no, it's no. You don't need to share the pictures of me without the beard. No, you don't need to do that. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube side to stay up to date on all the latest content. Subscribing over there is free. Talking to you TikTokers. If you ever open YouTube, look up Dusty Thunder or go to my link tree and you can get there that way as well. There's so much more content over there than there is on the TikTok side. You really just got to subscribe to it. We are going to be reshooting The Imperfect Storms and it will be releasing soon-ish. I have no idea when that's happening. There is a VIP live tomorrow night for YouTube. Are we doing both YouTube and TikTok VIPs? Just YouTube VIPs, YouTube members of the Thunder Crew. There will be a VIP live from the home studio. tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central. So be on the lookout for that. And Imperfect Storms, someday we'll get to refilm. I have spent the past 2.5 days straight fighting gremlins. So we're kind of behind on everything here. Reminder today, keep chat positive and respectful. Everybody is allowed to have their own opinion, and we don't all have to agree. We're not gonna, but it costs nothing to be respectful and to DFHB. And with that, get out your gosh heckin' brooms. Let's play some music and see if it causes any problems for us, huh? And if it does, I'll go with the with the just the basic B scene, and we'll just rock it out like we did last time. But good gravy, come on now. Brittany F, you'll be there tomorrow. Thankfully, spring break, so you don't have cheer. Hey, so this week is your spring break? There's a good question for you. Those of you with kids, or those of you who are teachers, is this week your spring break, or was it last week? Oh, we have another special guest for you today, too. Come on over. We got another special one for you. Hey, you gotta look that way. Say hello.
Say hi.
What was today at school?
It was a lot of big trouble.
A lot of big trouble. It was picture day.
It was a lot of big
Wait, did you get in a lot of big trouble at school today?
No.
Oh,
Not
okay.
her.
Oh, not her. Someone else?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It was just your default response. It was a lot of big trouble.
That's about
You
it.
booger. What you talking about? Where you going? Are you trying to crawl onto my desk?
Yes.
Yes. Did you tell everybody hi? You look. There you go.
She said, I asked her if she was going to go on camera today, and she said, I'm definitely going to go on camera today. And flipped her hair.
We got a real Glinda on our hands here.
Okay. And stuff.
Cannot deny any relation to Tessa. They're like twins. There are a lot of features that they share between them. It is wild. What? I gotta work for a little bit, sweetheart. I'm sorry. You'll come up here soon, okay? You'll come back up here soon. Hey, I do have to mention before we get started in the actual stories here. We were sent by William Farmer. William Farmer, if you happen to be in chat, claim it. We got a 3D printed can of 100% pure Audacity. Even has the screw top. Freaking made this thing. 100% pure Audacity. That's stinking cool. With a note along there. So it took 14 hours to print. That's some dedication. Thank you so much for that, William. Greatly appreciate it. It is super cool, Callie. Yeah, it's awesome. We may be using it later. We may be using it later. We'll see. We're going to have our hands full, Joyce. Well, we already have our hands full, but yeah, it's going to get worse. I know. I'm not ready for that. Not ready at all. So I joked around with Tony Spark and with Candy Thunder that the escapade of fighting the gremlins over the past however long that has consumed my soul was like my Gandalf moment, where I fought the big demon for so long, and then he reemerges as Gandalf the White, and I was going to get some like white hair stuff and just come on today's stream just completely white bearded and white haired with like a white robe. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I might still do it. We'll see. Not
I'll
today.
get you a staff.
You're gonna have to fill it with the stuff that pops out, because that's what Audacity is like. Yeah, we're gonna have to, like, one of the snakes in a can, snake in a can kind of thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to find something like that. We'll see. When is everybody's kids getting out for summer? You're going to Disney in June, so wonderfully if all the kids will be there too. When do we get out?
Usually the 3rd or 4th week of May.
Yeah, it's late May. Late May. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our first story here. Hello, it's Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut? That was a weird way to say that. Am I the Astronaut? Flatmate wants his girlfriend to stay with us for 3 months. Guessing OP has an opposition to this. So based on title alone, let's go ahead and cast our votes. Do you mind getting a poll started for us if you're able? Let's see here. Am I the Astronaut? Flatmate wants his girlfriend to stay with us for 3 months. I'm assuming OP is opposed. I'm assuming OP is opposed for a reason. I'm going to say NTA here because it sounds like this is one of those cases where, flatmate, roommate, wants to have a +1 for an extended amount of time, which she's going to shower. She's going to use electricity. She's going to use the internet. She's going to use utilities. but I'm guessing flatmate / roommate doesn't want to pay any additional share. So I could see why OP would oppose that. So I'm going in TA on it, but we'll see. 3 months, wouldn't that violate the terms of the lease? You know, Tony, I'm guessing, but I know this kind of stuff happens all the time, and the lease is like, yeah, nobody pays attention to that kind of thing. Well, if there's a problem, refer to the document, right?
Loft, the 4D loft.
The 4D loft contract or loft agreement, yeah. Section 37D, the no bang clause. Erica, your son graduates May 15th? That's amazing. Gotta be a little bittersweet, too. Jeannie, regardless of the reason he's in TA, we'll see. Okay, we're ready to dive in. By the way, we're at 1881 at a 4K on the bolt goal on the TikTok side right now. Heads up. Here we go. Bit of a backstory. My friend Bob, 24 male, and I, 28 male, became friends in uni. And when we graduated, we decided to move to another city for our jobs. Luckily, one of our friend's mom owned a 2-bed flat and agreed for us to move in at a discounted rent, 2/3 of the general rent rate in that area. At the start of it, we agreed that I will set up the Wi-Fi and council tax, and he will set up the energy. I got the Wi-Fi set up before he moved in, and council tax soon after. Bob did not set up the energy, and we still have not paid anything towards it. He claims the energy people are hard to deal with. So, getting electricity, switch it over to his name. When we were moving, Bob asked if he could get the bigger room, as his girlfriend might visit, who stayed 2 hours away, so it would make sense for him to get it. I agreed. We're friends after all. 6 months ago, Anne moved into a flat 5 minutes from us, and I started dating Sarah, 26 female, who lives in another city. Bob began staying at Anne's place most nights, 5 to 7 days a week, and used that as an excuse to stop cleaning, buying shared household items, or contributing to upkeep. My girlfriend visits 2 to 3 weekends a month, and I clean before she arrives. Bob occasionally cooks but leaves dishes behind for me to deal with. This brings us to the current situation. Anne's flatmate has decided to move out in April. Anne cannot afford the flat on her own. I suggested to Bob that he move in with Anne, and he said no, it's too soon. They've only been dating for 2 years, each their own. Last week, Bob asked me if Anne could live in our flat for 3 months, April till June, as she is going to travel in July for 3 months. I said I was more than happy to let her stay without paying anything. Okay. Bob has just registered with the energy company, and they sent him an invoice of £1,300 in overdue fees. We decided to pay $100 towards it to pay it off. Now he says to me that Anne will pay $150 towards the energy debt, and this is him doing me a favor. I told him if anybody is doing anyone a favor, it's me doing a favor for Anne. And secondly, I'm not going to see any of that $150, so it does not matter to me if she pays or doesn't pay. Now Bob says Sarah can't stay over on weekends because Anne would feel uncomfortable, even though Anne and Sarah get along. I believe it's actually Bob who dislikes having people around. I told him this was an unreasonable condition. I won't agree. As a paying tenant, I can have visitors, and since Anne isn't paying rent, she has no say in how I use my home. If she's uncomfortable, she shouldn't move in. Bob and Anne are used to having full control of Anne's flat since her roommate never comes out. I think they expect the same setup here, which is absurd, given that Anne is only paying Bob, not me. Even if she were paying a fair share, she wouldn't get exclusive rights to the common areas. Am I the astronaut for refusing this? Additionally, any help in how to handle this situation would be highly appreciated. OP, your roommate sounds exhausting. Mentally, physically, emotionally, exhausting. This is just exhausting. This is a terrible roommate, Kayla. This is ridiculous. Like, the amount of tit for tat, petty BS happening here is just wild. Okay, let me try to back up and untangle this just a second. Angel dropping the 2 on the YouTube side. It says Bob's a douche canoe. Wow. Yeah, so Bobbert not jumping in and handling the thing he was supposed to handle in the first place, which was getting electricity flipped over to his name. Just not doing it. Okay. Like, that takes some time. Does it though? I dragging his feet on that. And then him staying at his girlfriend's place more frequently, but using that as an excuse to not contribute the way that he agreed to contribute, and then asking if his girlfriend can move in for 3 months, but then trying to impose some kind of forceful rule and exclude people who have been welcome visitors previously. None of it makes any sense at all. No, you can't just look. If you want to live here exclusively and not have anybody else around, you could take over 100% of the rent and 100% of the debt, and I'll move out somewhere else. You are not the astronaut for opposing this. I'm going to hit the NTA button and hope it doesn't screw anything up. Not at all. I think it's the roommate, not Ann. 100%. Brownie babe. Yeah, I'm with you there. This is a Bobbert problem. This is not Ann. They get along. And maybe, but maybe Ann really likes to have her space. She hasn't lived with them before, so it could be something like that. But regardless, she's not a paying tenant there. She's not on the lease. She doesn't have any kind of renter's rights built into this thing. And she sure as shit can't jump in and start opposing guests that had been previously welcome. Can't do it. Angel, I'm going to live with this girl for 3 months, but it's too soon to move in with her. Ellen, yeah, don't get the double standard. I don't either. And it is, gosh, you've only had your girlfriend stay over on weekends. I won't mind to move in, but then yours isn't allowed to stay over on weekends anymore. What? This makes no sense at all. What's up, Melon? In Australia. Good morning to you as well. I'd be gone, Droshko. This is one of those things where like, okay, I'm gonna try to survive till the end of my lease, and then I'm finding my own place. Or I'd offer to buy him out. Or offer to let him buy me out. It's just like, this is not somebody you want to be a roommate with, because this is not the end of it. This is the beginning of it. He's been able to escape and spend the majority of his time somewhere else. Now that's changing, and you aren't going to be able to get rid of him. You're going to deal with more of his bullshit every damn day. No, Bob. No. If you want exclusive control, go get your own exclusive place. Now, trying to push him out already, that may be the play here, Beth. That may be exactly what they're doing. They may just be trying to push him out. Did you say 2 years is too soon to move in together? Yes, Amber. Yeah. Yep. 2 years. But I want to live with her for like 3 months, and then she's going to be gone for 3 months. So, Tammy, good point. What happens when she comes back from traveling and has nowhere to live? For sure. Angel Bob's a man with no brain cells floating in the middle of the ocean. Alice, no. See, that's another unexcused absence. You got a phone call, missed the story. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. There'll be a written warning followed by today's stream. The TLDR is that Bob's a douche canoe of a roommate who wants to impose all kinds of control. Makes it seem like his girlfriend Anne is the one who wants all that kind of control, but it seems like it's really Bob. But it's a double standard, and it's stupid stuff. Bob's just a shit roommate. That's the end of the story. And OP is NTA. Lee was engaged and moved in within 3 months. Hey, when you know, you know. The wellness warrior. I should have waited for her call. At least I should have waited for the call to be done. Sorry. There's a call about someone causing issues and will likely be written up. Hey, Kaylee got a friggin' promotion at Casey's today. Hell yes. Also, I gotta say, there's something that you guys haven't seen yet, but I have been documenting like the entire process of fighting the tech gremlins, the TGs, the things that I'm not supposed to say out loud. Been documenting that entire process at Kaylee's. It was Kaylee's idea to be like, you should film that. You should film the whole process of like going through that. And I have now filmed probably like an hour documentary's worth of content that I've handed over to Caden, and he's now putting together into an edit. So there are a lot of checkpoints. You can kind of see me losing my mind slowly as I go through that process, and it was all her idea. So big ups there for you. Pawaka says the girlfriend can't afford to rent on her own, but can afford to travel for 3 months. Well, maybe she's saving up for the travel. Maybe that's the problem. Overkill, good to see ya. Hey, I'm going to give some thanks here before we get started on the next story here. We're already at 3161 on 4K, which gets Candy Thunder up here. Candy Thunder's throwing bolts at herself here now. Hi there. Oh, yeah, you've got to go and get Ava Wing. Okay. So you're trying to get your appearance to happen before you have to leave. Now it makes sense. Hey, Jessica Genty Davy with the rose there. Dark Angel Martin Lobster dropping the 176 lightning bolts there. Bailey Chapman with the 375, which we'll be talking to tomorrow. Nope, today's Wednesday. Saturday, we have the call with Bailey Chapman, who won a private call. Wendy Taylor dropping bolts there too. Jarby, Allie, Shay, Sarah Jane, Ambi, Candy Koala, Mandy V, Beth dropping lightning bolts there too. Overkill Mill dropping 250. Wendy Taylor dropping 214. Annie Butcher, Martin again there. R La La Land, TKP Nurse, and Hotrox and Merm. Darcy, Celestial Sky, Annie Butcher, and Hotrox again there. Martin, KCC, you guys are awesome. Candy Koala, see there too. Sherry Sosa, Dark Angel. 34 hundo on it. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next story, and we'll see what happens here. Angel, Tech Gremlin fighting process. Yeah, that's what the documentary will be. Someday it'll come back and be like the moment when he lost his mind. The moment Dusty went off the deep end. Off the deep end. Lily, thank you for the love. Appreciate that. Thank you. Angel, someone who places product orders, placed a $4,200 unauthorized order for items we are unsure if we can even give out and needs approved by legal. Oof. Oh, there's nothing to be sorry about. Kaylee, that's no, I mean, I'm glad we documented the process because either way, it'll be good quality content that'll be humorous for anybody who wasn't me. And I'm game for that. I'm 100% game for it. Hey, we hit the bolt goal. Let me give some thanks here real quick. We'll see if we can get Candy Thunder up for a hot second before she heads out the door. They just hit the bolt goal. Come on. Here, tell you what. I'll give thanks after we get Candy Thunder up here so she can hop up here and chat for a second, and we can make good on that reward before we get out of here. Krista, been a while. Glad to be able to join. Glad to have you here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bugs, you too. All good. Joy, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Thunder, a.k.a. Tater, a.k.a. got the heat lamps on, a.k.a. made some really good taters last night.
Oh yeah, I found so I don't know how the rest of the world makes baked potatoes, but I've always made them whole. Like, I don't wrap them in foil or anything. I
Throws the tater in the oven and
I put them in oil and like kosher salt, and then I bake them until the outsides get crispy. But I found a recipe where you like slice them in half long ways and then like kind of do the oil and the kosher salt, but then lay them face down. And I had no idea that was a thing, but apparently a lot of people make baked potatoes that way. Yeah, Ava, this is a hand-me-down. She got a necklace that was 2 layers, and she said she only liked 1 layer, so she took it off and like made it into a solo necklace and asked if I wanted it. And I was like, thanks. And the shirt I wore Monday was something that she wore in like 8th grade, so I was like, I'm just taking shirts from my girls that are turning 16 as my hand-me-ups or hand-me-downs. I don't know.
We finally hit that pivot where instead of them getting all your stuff or taking all your stuff, now watch her it. Now she gets stuff from them, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Hi, kiddo.
And then Navy saw the necklace and asked if we could share it. It was really cute. I think she likes the little bow on it. Yeah, but it's got a little bow right there. And a heart. Yeah.
And little cherries on a little cherry dice.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. I think that was Ava's
Ooh, Jane, microwave for 10 minutes and then put in the oven or air fryer to crisp the skin.
Mm-hmm.
These taters last night were delicious. Like it was like I don't know what they call them at the Greek restaurants, but like the very thin, like fried or sauteed, I'm not sure, but those very thin, crispy potatoes. They were like that, but it was just the big flat surface of the potato, and the inside of it was a baked potato.
Yeah, so the potatoes, you You do salt and pepper and like oil on the skins. I use the garlic infused olive oil, and then you just put them face down on a pan. I put foil on the pan to help them crisp more. But yeah, you just cook them at like 425 for, I think it was like 45 minutes. But they're perfect, and like for when you have a lot of stuff. So when you have like baked potatoes and steak and all that, like it's kind of nice not to have the whole thing and not have it go to waste. So
What are you doing, Navy? You're just like,
those potatoes, the potatoes were the inspiration from the story last week with the steak and the potatoes. I've been wanting baked potatoes ever since.
they were good.
Okay.
I could just have that potato and it would be all good.
Yeah, she is the perfect mix between the two of us. Okay, tell them bye. We got to go pick up your sister. We have 33 more days until our first girl has her driver's license. And I'm very excited.
I want
Okay.
to stay here.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, kiddo. We'll see you in a little bit.
Well, we're going to go home.
She's like, I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to stay. Bugs, I saw your comment that you listen to the podcast all the time. That's awesome. So that's very cool. In St. Robert, Missouri, no less. Would you look at that? Navy's getting tall. She's getting very, very tall. And we've noticed, like, since she was a baby, I think I said right off the rip, bye, kiddo. Love you. She brought the red flag back. There are a lot of facial similarities between her and Tessa. Like, you guys have like similar, the button nose and some brow features that are similar there too. It's wild. Lisa, positive vibes. Thank you. All right, we're diving into the next story here. Actually, I got to set up a new goal. I'm going to give some thanks for this real quick. Can I get a gifter list from you, Tony Spock? Tony Spock. Oh, you had to check out the Navy model pose pics, Hannah. She, even today, because it was picture day at school, I take pictures of her on the way into school when I'm dropping her off at school because she thinks it's awesome. And I think it's a great way to kind of document her growing up. But now, whenever she gets pictures done on the way in, she's striking poses. She's like, oh, is the music causing that? Here, I'll go back to the base scene. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the base scene. I won't mess with anything, and we'll see if that helps. Hey, in particular order here, we have Martin Keywood in the number 1 spot, Bailey Chapman, Wendy Taylor, Hoorn, Overkill Mill, Darcy LC, Amber Simmons, Caetanis, Sherry Sosa, Janice C 2014, Mandy VB, Adventures with Pam, Jenny Lee, Elise Kutch, TKP Nurse, AK Mary, Anna Hartman, Mama Ellie, Carol Jaworski, Oh La La Land, Mama Says So, The Original Merm, Candy Thunder, Daisy Desserts, and Hot Rocks and Mama B, Candy Koala, Victoria Keel, right? Victoria, Celestial Sky, Tisha, Savage AF, Dylan Sprague, Andy Butcher, Casey, Callie Knight, Chris Museum Girl, Wee Little Cree, Alram, Jerry Lego Fourth, and Michelle Mybell. Thank you guys so much for the love. Appreciate the support. And we'll dive into our next story after I get this next goal set up. The next one is going to unlock a Tony Spark appearance and a spicy cake story and confetti. Tony Spark, spicy cake story.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy, he says, and confetti. And confetti. Tony plus spicy cake story. I don't even know what animation to use. I guess I should not use any to be safe. And confetti. And that will be... Come on, TikTok. Let me hit the buttons. We're going to go for finger hearts. 2.5K on the finger hearts. Let me pin that real quick. Pinned. All right, now we can rock and roll in the next story here. Hey, Bugs. Resubbing in the Gosh Hackett fam there. Angelica, Catriana, Celestial, Sarah. Thank you guys so much for the love. All right, let's rock and frickin' roll here. The next story is this one. Hey there, it's Dusty with yet another story from Reddit for you. This one is from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for... that's not the title. Am I the astronaut for giving my boyfriend the silent treatment for being late to pick up my mom and I from the airport? Cast your vote based on title alone here, please. Am I the astronaut for giving my boyfriend the silent treatment for being late to pick up my mom and I from the airport? Well, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you probably shouldn't be late for, right? I'm going to go NTA on this. No animations for you, Angel says with the $2 super on the YouTube side. I know. That's the safe play. No animations. I'm still going to keep fighting this thing, but you know what? It's more stable today than it has been in a long time, and I'm taking that as a dub. It's the dub for me. It's a win. It's a win. How late are we talking? Good question. I'm going to go NTA because I think that's a worthy thing of being annoyed at. Unless, yeah, like stuck in traffic is a thing. Also could be an excuse though, but I don't know. Picking somebody from the airport is if you had a time to be there and he was late, it's worth being annoyed. ESH is probably the correct answer here. You're probably right. Probably right. Are you getting fuckery reports? Okay. Yep. I'm here. I'm with you. Not sure if silent treatment is very productive, Hannah says, but I'm guessing it was a rubbish reason to be late. Think ESH is winning on the YT side. We always need more context, but it's fun to guess. You know, it's really fun to guess. Okay. Let's dive in. I'm being stuck at the airport sucks though, right? It's not a fun place that anybody wants to be stuck. And by the time you're being released where you can actually leave that place, like you want to go. You're stuck in there on layovers or checking in, and after you get through TSA, like you're literally just stuck for a while. So as soon as you're released out into the wild, like I want to get the heck out of there. I want to get the heck out. Hey, also Shan loves to read with the baby dragon. Thank you so much for that. Saw it. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's rock and roll. Title again was Am I the Astronaut for Giving My Boyfriend the Silent Treatment for Being Late to Pick Up My Mom and I from the Airport? Here's what happened. My mom and I were due to fly into the airport at 10:15 p.m. Note that we already had a prior scuffle because I was upset at him for not offering to pick us up. Okay, that's important context. He had asked over FaceTime if we had a ride, and I said I wasn't sure if our family friend was available. After I said all of that, he was silent over FaceTime because he was too busy making plans with his friend. When he finally came back to the call, I was completely silent because I was upset, and the call ended after I was unresponsive. Afterwards, he apologized for not offering directly to drive us from the airport. The next day, I confirmed that he could drive and sent all of the proper information and mentioned he should arrive 15 minutes later as we had checked luggage. On the actual day, the plane lands slightly early and I text him our progress. We've landed early. We're at customs. We've picked up our luggage. I hear crickets. Note that he normally responds to texts incredibly quickly. I still don't know if he remembered to pick us up and had us penciled in because... I still don't know if he remembered to pick us up and had us penciled in at all because he had not texted me that day about the flight while we were still in the air. This was a long international flight, so I had not spoken to him for close to 15 hours. That sounds like not fun. To be stuck in a seat for 15 hours? Nope. I resort to calling him, but I'm met with voicemail. I call him again, still no response. He finally responds 40 minutes after my initial text. He had been chatting with his friend after dinner, which took place 2 hours ago. He finally picks us up a full hour after the plane landed. I had gotten progressively more upset as time had passed, so I gave him the silent treatment. My mom chats with him from the back seat, but he isn't very responsive and doesn't really try to strike up conversation with me. He makes sure we get all of our bags and leaves with this bitter feeling hanging in the air. What should I make of this situation? Am I the asshole? I can't help but feel that he should have resolved the situation better. Another thing I can't help but feel upset about was he also did not explain anything to my mother and was painfully silent. When she was making the effort to converse, he only gave her terse responses back. Note, we've only been dating for 2 years at this point and we have been dating for 2 years at this point and have met each other's parents many times. Bro needs to communicate, but you know what? I think you guys were right with the ESH here. OP sucks too. OP sucks here too, because this is not a mature response to a thing. Now, I can tell you that I can only imagine the amount of no more fucks remaining. Where's the jar? Yeah. the fucks to give jar. I'm sure it was completely empty by the end of a 15-hour international flight, and having to deal with TSA and having to deal with luggage and going through all of the things. I'm sure they were mentally spent by that point anyway. And yeah, boyfriend brozoed here, right? He brozoed by not offering in the first place. He brozoed by on a FaceTime call getting distracted and making plans with his buddy instead. Brozoed a few times here, but the silent treatment doesn't accomplish anything. Doing it multiple times here. Did it at the end of the FaceTime call because you were annoyed, OP. You did it in the car because you were annoyed here. You're upset at him because he didn't communicate better, and your response to that is to react by not communicating better. I think this is one of those give what you get or get what you give kind of situations. You want him to communicate better with you, and you're upset that he didn't. So your response was to communicate worse than he did in the first place, to intentionally give him the silent treatment. I understand that you're upset. You have a right to be upset here, but look, do you want to be right or do you want the situation to improve? I think that's the decision you have to make here. You have to make a decision on if you value being right more than you value the situation actually improving over time. If you want to solve this problem, you have to talk about it and be like, hey, instead of giving him the silent treatment on that FaceTime call when the silent treatment is what ended the call, there was no resolution there at all, being like, hey, what's going on? Because I'm feeling right now like you don't care. You just got distracted while we're in the middle of a FaceTime call, and I'm trying to get things aligned with you, and also not offering to pick us up from the airport. Like I feel neglected by these things. I feel like you could care less. I feel like this, your actions made me feel that way. Is that an accurate representation? Do you realize that you're doing that? Or are you just overly distracted? Like, let's talk about that. Letting your partner know that something they're doing is causing a reaction inside of you is like the early warning detection system, right? It is the early detection warning system. I don't know how that goes. It is the first opportunity that some people have to be able to fix a problem. I've been in situations before where things I have done have created negative feelings with Candy Thunder, and I had no idea until she brought it up to me. The silent treatment would not alert me to that. And yeah, sometimes we dudes are pretty dumb and you have to spell things out for us. It happens. But if you want something to be actually fixed, talk about it. Talk it through. Come up with a solution together. Implement that solution to prevent this from happening in the future. Basic problem solving here. Hatter dropping the 10 bomb said, when my flight to Texas was delayed by a day, I called Mr. Hatter if he wanted to pick me up or me take a lift home from the airport. If you cannot communicate your feelings, this will be a nonstop issue. 100%. And thank you for the super, by the way. It is strictly a matter of, do you want to be vindicated or do you want to not have this problem again? Personally, I'd like to not have the problem again. And it is tough to communicate about these kind of things. They've been dating for 2 years, and at this point, they might not have entered that communication blitz. And Candy Thunder and I finally determined that it's not year one of marriage where that communication gauntlet happens. It's year one of living together, where you're forced to have those awkward conversations and problem solve more than you ever have before. This is one of the things that I feel like happens during that year one of the communication gauntlet. And maybe this is the first big thing that they've run into. But this is where you guys are going to learn to fight. You're going to learn to problem solve as a team, not as individuals who are butthurt at each other, but as a team. So, ESH for me. Amber, yes. Oh, you're not communicating with me? Fine, I'm not going to communicate with you harder. Take that. Take that. Can with the floating hearts for 10 jewels on the YouTube side and the thumbs up for 10 jewels as well. Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate that. Yoko, both need to grow up and communicate. That's a way to say it. That is definitely a way. Yoko agreeing with Hatter there. Partner and I already are on the habit of double and triple checking plans because we both can be sometimes space cadets. We want to be there for each other. They don't seem to. Angel dropping the 5 over there said, how in advance did he know flight details? It seems like he had other plans, which she had no regard for. That said, pick your girlfriend up on time, brozo. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was day before when he got the plans, and he didn't offer in the first place. So he could have had other plans and then had been scrambling to try to change those around this. And maybe he's upset about having to do that. Could be. Could be. He's entitled. Was he late or was she early? It was a combination, Paula. So I think he did show up. He probably did show up maybe 30 minutes later than he was supposed to be there. But she also told him that they landed early, so I've trimmed like 15 minutes off of there because the early landing, earlier than anticipated, I think was 15 minutes. We landed early. We're at customs. Plane lands slightly early. I'm like, he can't control that. I mean, he can track it. Flight tracker app, just saying, Ms. HH, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, flight track that. You're going to know the anticipated landing time and be there. We are avid users of our calendar. So there will be times when the kids have something going on and we forget to add it to the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, like it doesn't exist, we're going to forget about it. But having a shared calendar, TikTok disconnected, trying to reconnect right now. We should be back up and running. Not sure what that's about. TikTok been glitchy as AF. Using a shared calendar makes it so much easier. I live and breathe by my calendar. It tells me what I'm doing for the day, even on weekends. So if there's something going on, like finding shared ways to make communicating and planning as a couple easier, I think it's something you have to do. Gomez says, I couldn't date somebody who couldn't communicate. I don't think you should. Well, some of this you don't know about somebody until you're in that gauntlet, right? Until you're hitting these kind of situations. Like you learn a lot, problem solving. It's really about problem solving. That's where the communication skills building thing comes in. Heard, Tony Spark. Heard. All right, we're going to dive over to the next story here. I got to pick up my pace just a little bit. We're at 850, a 2.5K on the finger heart goal, which will get a spicy cake story, plus a Tony Spark appearance and confetti rocking and rolling here. You have to slap a post-it note on Hatter's forehead to remind him that he... Shanna Lee, member for 20 months on the Thunder Crew, said, I use 2 calendars and set alarms for everything. So much on our plates these days. Agreed. I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, especially when you get kids involved with that too, and they get into sports and activities and stuff like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. All right, we'll dive into the next story here. Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder once again with another story from you. This one is, am I the astronaut for asking my mom to work less to watch my toddler? Okay. Based on title alone, not knowing if OP is offering to compensate, not knowing anything here. Brrr. Well, I mean, the way it's worded here, I'm going to go with the 3. Should have done that differently. Work less to watch my toddler. If that was the foundation of the ask, should have done that differently. It is a tough one. But if you're saying to somebody, I want you to not make money so you can work for free. Yeah. Hey, procrastinate. Just became a 9-month member of the Gosh Heckin' fam on the TikTok side. Heck yeah. Bugs, TKP Nurse, Wonder Woman. Thanks for the love over there. Sylvie, thanks for the love. Shan loves to read, dropping the 123 finger hearts there. JK and Hodarks and Katriana. Sarah Kira, Leslie, Katriana again there. Real Life Works, Melissa B, that Alaska girl, Amy Castro, Bailey Chapman, Tabby Styles. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Are you getting ready to take off, Tessa? Okay, let's go ahead and bring you back up to say au revoir before you end up having to leave for good. She's out of here at 4 o'clock, so we got to make sure we bring her back up here. Okay, so question for you. One more time, ladies and gents, if you weren't here earlier, this is Tessa, my niece. I'm the cool uncle, 100%. So, did you learn anything surprising here today?
Yeah, I think it's really cool how like all the team works together, and I learned that everyone has to like do their part for it to end out well. And I just think what my uncle does is really cool, and I really want to do that whenever I'm older.
Nice, cool. Well, keep going in that direction, and maybe you can join this team in the future. Yeah, I mean, look, Kate Thunder's sitting right there, staring at my face, listening to my voice all day long. I feel so bad for him. Can you imagine having to stare at my face and listen to my voice all day long? He probably dreams. Am I the narrator of your nightmares, Caden Thunder?
He's the narrator of my life.
That's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tessa, our shadow for the day, and niece, part of the Thunder fam. Thank you for being here today. It's very good to see you. Good luck. I hope you do well on your paper that you turn in. If you need anything else from us, let us know for sure. Okay. We'll make a friggin' video and we'll send it to your teacher if we need to. Yeah. See ya. We were doing, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, we were doing some more testing to try to get all the AV stuff figured out. And I was trying to talk to Tony Spark at the same time. And I was asking him questions while he had headphones on, listening to some of the files from that test or listening to the stream, which has a delay on it. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm hearing you from there and I'm hearing you from here and I'm hearing, it's too much. It's too much. I'm sorry. I haunt you all. Okay, the question was, am I the astronaut for asking my mom to work less to watch my toddler? I went ask on 3. Smoots, I do. I haunt you regularly. On purpose. Parts you don't even know about. Bye, Tessa. Okay, here we go. I am a 31-year-old part-time work-from-home mom with a 3-year-old and one on the way. I live within 10 minutes from my parents and my older sister's family. My sister is a full-time work-from-home mom with a 1-year-old. We're all in stable marriages, but our husbands have busy jobs outside the home. Lately, resentment has been building because my sister asked my mom to be their nanny about a year ago. Originally, when this came about, my mom said she was going to do it for a few months until my sister could find someone else more permanent. Well, those few months quickly became a year. I knew immediately that this arrangement was going to mean less support from my mom for my family, but I also knew that it would be great for my mom to make some money and spend some time with her other grandchild. Fast forward almost a year later, this temporary position has become permanent. Since taking the new job, my mom has watched my daughter maybe 3 to 5 times for 1 to 2 hours at a time. Prior to nannying, she would come over to my house on the same day every week and watch my daughter for about 2 hours so I could work or shower or catch up on the house chores. This quickly fell off the calendar when she took the job. Up until recently, I've been just sad and disappointed about the situation because 1, I miss her and my daughter misses her, and 2, being a working mom is exhausting and I really loved the little break I would get. But I recently got pregnant at the start of the year and have had the most debilitating morning sickness for 2 months and counting. My mom and sister have offered to help countless times, but somehow are never really available to help when it comes down to it. I love them dearly and know that their hearts are in the right place because they are supportive and no drama type people. However, it's incredibly frustrating to be the one that can't afford to pay my mom for her help or get the attention long enough to receive help. Am I the astronaut for explaining to my mom that ever since she took the nanny job for my sister, that I feel unsupported, left out, and like there is a new precedent to pay her if we ask her to watch our child more than once a month for 1 to 2 hours? Am I the astronaut to ask my sister if she could look for a second nanny to split the time so that my mom can be more free to help me out through the morning sickness and postpartum? Blah! Thoughts? Erica says, wow. Sounds like OP's throwing a tantrum. It's not her mom's issue, it's hers. Yeah. Kaylee, tell Tony I said hi, LOL, and he needs to come in Monday through Thursdays. There you go, Tony. She said she saw you in one of the videos and she knows what you look like now and she's watching out for you.
I always forget.
I know. You never go inside though.
I
You
have
just-
to be honest. It's not the case that stop. Stop going
You stop at a different Casey's?
It's just like really quick go. Like the one there where I go, you gotta go turn the light or turn the thing.
It's a better Casey's.
Which
It's a better case than the other one.
But all I get is mints, and so I just gotta run.
Boo.
And I can just
Boo.
Duquesne is just quicker.
Boo. Brittany says, wow, so you want a free service when your sister is paying her? Yeah, and it all comes down to OP saying, like, it sucks to be the one who can't afford it. I understand. That does suck. But also, you cannot expect your mother to take a loss and not work her job to come watch your kids for free so you can get a break. That's not a reasonable expectation. Now, I'm sure there are alternatives here, though, because you say your sister and your mom have offered to help countless times, but they're never available when time pops up. Okay, just hear me out for a minute. Is it at all possible for you to take your daughter over to where your mom is being paid to watch the other children and have your daughter hang out there for a little while so she can be watched as well as part of that group? And she probably would be willing to do that without incurring any kind of additional cost to you. You would just have to drive for 15 minutes. You said you lived within 15 minutes. Is that not an option here? There have to be other options here. Beth says mom may not allow that. Maybe not. But if mom and sister, the two parties who are also involved with this alternative, are offering help, but never available to help when it comes down to it, it's an option. This is a compromise that is something that OP could actually do. And the only cost is the time of driving and gas money or whatever it is, but actually taking 15 minutes to go drop your child off and then taking 15 minutes to go back and pick them up. I think, let me go back to the question. The question was, am I the asking off for asking my mom to work less to watch my toddler? Yes, I think you really are. I'm going to bring up the scale here. Hopefully that doesn't cause any poopy crap here. So 3 was you should have done it differently. But 2 is definitely shouldn't have done that. She hasn't asked the question yet, though. I think that's the kicker. She's thinking about it. Am I the asshole to ask my sister if she could look for a second nanny to split the time so that my mom... Yes, you would be an asking off for that. You definitely shouldn't do that. If that's the question that you're asking here, I think you're at it too, OP. You can't ask someone else to endure pain so you can feel relief. That's an asshole thing to ask. Especially when it doesn't sound like you've explored alternatives here. You know what I mean? And even if your sister got a second nanny, your mom is still taking a hit. She's taking a loss so that you can feel relief. There is a way that allows you to feel relief without anybody taking a loss here. And my suggestion about driving your child over there where the other children are being watched is just one idea. There have to be more. I'm upgrading to 2. Sam, can her husband not watch her for an hour? So hubby is at work during the day. It sounds like this is a day thing, and OP used that opportunity to shower and catch up on some chores, right? And I understand that's a hard thing to come by as a parent of young children, but you got to figure it out. And in this case, it's if you did ask that question, I think we finally get to open up the can of Audacity that William Farmer sent to us and 3D printed. This is the can of Audacity. OP, if you did ask that question, I think you would achieve this can. And what's inside here? I actually looked what's inside the can of Audacity. Oh my gosh, yeah. This is what you get inside the can of Audacity. It's right there. 100% pure. Hi, Tater. What'd you make the eek face at that? Was that too harsh? I think it's fine. If she did that and I were in sister's position or mom's position, I'd be like, no. Gift goal. TikTok side, we're at 1551 of 2.5K on the finger heart goal. A reminder that unlocks Tony Spark appearance and a spicy cake story and confetti. All three of those things. So I ended up at 2. My original vote was Ask on 3. I did upgrade it here, but it is not an Am I the Astronaut? This is a Will I be the Astronaut? So I believe it was mistitled actually by OP. I believe she hasn't taken this action yet. She's feeling what she's feeling, and she's trying to figure out which she will and won't be the asshole for. I think if she acted in the way that she's asking if she would be the astronaut, yes, she would. I think it is on her to try to find some alternatives that don't cause other people to feel pain in order to provide her with relief. That's the bottom line. Tree Witch, yeah. I mean, the grandchild is also lacking, but you're asking one of 2 people to take a monetary loss to solve that. And I don't think you can ask that. I think you have to find a solution that doesn't involve it costing people, right? She's trying to put that cost on other people. And I don't think you can ask that. Did it say sister was a stay-at-home mom? Let me go back and look real quick, and then we'll bounce to the next story here. My sister is a full-time work-from-home mom. So sister works full-time. And OP works part-time from home. Sister is full-time work from home. OP is part-time work from home. Yeah. Okay. All right. 1650 out of 2.5K on the figure hearts. For the TikTok side here. So I mean, that's perfectly fine. Like that I don't expect you to agree. That's fine. But you say that mom wasn't being paid originally until sister offered to pay, but then she was. And at this point, if you ask her at this point, she is going to incur a loss. The other option that OP mentioned was asking her sister to get a second nanny, which is going to cost mom the earnings that she would have had there. See, so no matter which way that goes, somebody incurs a monetary loss so that OP can have relief. My suggestion is, before you bring that up ever, think about some options that don't cause anybody to incur a monetary loss. And if you just did it now and it was like that was the only tunnel vision option, yeah, you'd be the asshole for it, for sure. Holy cow. KLN 518 sending out 5 gifted subs. Books are my TARDIS. Lavielle Campbell, Mrs. A. Snyder, Tammy W. and Shanna, all receiving gifted subs and becoming members of the Gosh Heck It fam over on the TikTok side. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome to the Gosh Heck It fam. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the next story here. What am I on, 5 or 4? 4. I am on 4. Okay, rocking and rolling here. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one comes from AITA Relationships. This sounds like fun. Title is, Am I the Astronaut for trying to convince my girlfriend that one of her friends is detrimental to our lives? Okay. Am I the astronaut for trying to convince my girlfriend that one of her friends is detrimental to our lives? Okay, I think we can all theoretically put ourselves in that position, right? And if you've got a toxic friend or a friend that is toxic to your relationship, there's trying to convince, and then there's trying to shed light on. There's trying to alert. Convince is a weird word to use here, and that may be the pivot word here. But I'm gonna go NTA off the rip. We'll see. It's the convince word that may be the swing vote.
There's a poll.
Poll has started on the YouTube side, TikTok side. I'm sorry.
It's a NTA or Ask on One.
Candy Thunder says it's an NTA or Ask on One.
That's what the votes were going.
Oh, gotcha.
Now they've changed to Ask on 4.
Oh, the votes are changing. Title again, Am I the Astronaut for trying to convince my girlfriend that one of her friends is detrimental to our lives? 2101 out of 2.5K on the finger hearts. They're climbing. Y'all are climbing. Overkill Mill just dropped 157. Michelle, Ann Hodgson, Tammy W. Janice, 2014, Emmy Castro, Candy Thunder dropping some there too. It's fun. You just want to hear me say your name? Candy Thunder dropping finger hearts over there. The spicy cake story is a doozy.
There's a story that's due. Then there's an update.
Oh, the update is worse. It's a spicy cake story with an update. Heyo.
Like a 3-for-1 special.
The Wellness Warrior, have you ever got 100% of the viewers pick the same thing or 50-50 tie? Yeah, both. There's normally like 1 or 2 dissenters.
This one was NTA and ESH.
This one went NTA and ESH. Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm at NTA. Probably going to be wrong. Let's dive in.
I'm gonna go ESH.
You're going to ESH? Okay, just for fun. Just for fun. Pig or cow, pig or cow. Title again, Am I the Astronaut for trying to convince my girlfriend that one of her friends is detrimental to our lives? Using this throwaway again, I got help last time that saved my relationship with my girlfriend, so I'm hoping it'll help again because things seem to be worse between us. My male 25 girlfriend of almost 2 years, Jessica, female 23, has a lot of friends. There are those where I'm just barely acquainted with, but the friends that I do know, I like. However, there's one in particular I still can't wrap my head around, Ruth, female 23. Jessica is what I call a makeup dork, where she understands the importance of looking presentable in public, but she's not shallow. She really just loves looking good, which I greatly appreciate. Ruth only wears casual wear with minimal makeup. She also doesn't seem to take care of herself very well, as she has problems with dry hands, but I was told that's normal in Ruth's profession. But still, it's no excuse. Also, Jessica is in medical school, while Ruth doesn't want to do anything to advance her career. Excuse me.
Judgy? Judgy asshole.
It turns out OP just doesn't like the friend because she has dry hands.
Fuck you, dude.
Candy Thunder, she's offended by the dry hand thing. The only interests they share together are animated shows and animals. They actually met in her first year of college when they both volunteered at the SPCA, and since it was during the pandemic, there were limitations to the number of volunteers, so they both worked together closely a lot. Now that Jessica is soon to be finishing up her first year in med school, I can't help but think about our future. Both of us came from good backgrounds. We're living in a great apartment, and I have a great job where I just recently got a raise. So I brought up my thoughts about how we can improve our lives more. She thought things were good enough, but I told her it can be better. But wait, there's more. Since we're both advancing professionally, I think we should consider advancing socially as well. And we should surround ourselves with people that are also close to our level. So I brought up her friendship with Ruth. I said I like Ruth, but I feel like later in life she'll bring her down. I brought up all the differences between them and how people will think when they see them together. I also believe that this friendship will end eventually as our lives progress, so it would be best to end it now.
What the
You were born a street rat, you will die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you.
Oh my god.
She started to cry, but I can tell she was trying to hold back. I tried to reassure her that I understand that this is hard for her to hear, but I just want what's best for us. She then said, "Have you always been this big of a dick?"
Yes.
I was shocked because I couldn't believe she said that, but she repeated it, and yeah, she definitely said that to me. Hold on. He's like, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I think you might have miscommunicated.
Oh my god.
I tried to calm her down, but she didn't want to hear it, so she locked herself in our bedroom. A few hours later, she came out and told me that she's staying with her sister and may come back this weekend. She said, "Just so you know, I'm not going to give up any of my friends. You, I'm not so sure I want to keep around. Don't contact me at all until I come back."
Yes.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and you're a big douche canoe. Get the fuck out. I don't want you anymore. You lost me at dry hands. It was a joke, Candy Thunder. It was a joke. Good gravy. Okay. Hey, look, it's the can of audacity. I think we found it again. This is warranted. Yep. He gets the can of audacity. That's for sure. The question was, am I the astronaut for trying to convince my girlfriend that one of her friends is detrimental to our lives? This is not a toxic friend. This is a friend that you don't like the curb appeal of, and that you feel like if people see her in proximity to your life, will reflect poorly upon you and your aspirations of world domination. Well, that's shallow as F, and it's super douchey. So we're gonna get Brozo rocking here. I don't even care if this causes staticky bullshit. It's warranted. You definitely get that. The superficial freaking, like, he has an image of his future. He has an image that everything he's trying to get to align to. I'm sorry, just keep thinking about the conversation he's having with her, where he's like, it could be better. You know, we're improving professionally. What if we improved socially as well? I imagine him with a tucked in polo with pleated khakis and a sweater tied around, like, on his shoulder, but tied, you know what I mean? He might be wearing an ascot too. I'm not sure. Deck shoes for sure. This is the Ivy League villain in like every movie where the sloppy the sloppy average Joe wins. This is the Ivy League villain. It was the super douchey thing to do. Yeah, you know, I agree. I think this is black hole worthy. You're not just an ASCOM one. You're not just the finance bro. There you go. You're not just a grade A asshole, but this is a terrible human being. This is somebody who only cares about the curb appeal. And OP's partner, Jessica, I hope you didn't end up going back to this guy. I sure hope not, because it kind of sounds like he has you picked out for your curb appeal as well. And that might be it. I don't know that he has any more depth to him at all. Unfortunately. Boo. He's a trust me bro. You know who he is? Yeah. Did you date this guy?
No.
Here comes Candy Thunder, ladies and gents.
No.
Wait.
I said it on YouTube. For those of you that's seen Van Wilder, he's the guy that eats the eclairs and then finds the pictures at the bottom. He's the guy that shits in the trash can in his interview. He's that guy with like the sweater around his neck and the judgy. He's Elwood's ex-fiance in Legally Blonde. That's who this guy is. That's who I imagine this guy is. Also, I didn't realize I was going to be judged for my eczema on my hands. Asshole. I'll go get my steroid cream. I'll be right back. Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about the dry, scaly patch on my eye that I've had to treat. Jesus. I didn't realize we were being judged. But now that I know that we're judging based on the state of our hands, I'll make sure to get my Aquaphor and like really lube it up with some gloves tonight.
You slipped off the microphone. Fuck you, microphone. Wait. Hey, the dry hands come in really handy. Pun intended. Oh, Navy needs snacks. They come in really handy. Like, it's been a long time since I've had to buy finishing sandpaper, because anytime we have a project, I'm just kidding. I kid. The way she turned around.
Do you want to shit in a trash?
She's threatening me with shedding in a trash can now. Back away from this. I kid. I love Candy Thunder's hands. Love every part of you, mama. Even your dry, scaly hands. That's just the dragon in you coming out. That's all. Hey, Andrea Nichols, Lexi, Hildy, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Deborah Elizabeth Browning extended the sub out there too. Big Hearted Bo sent a giveaway sub out. Thanks so much, Big Hearted Bo. Shan, one of the receivers of that. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Glad to have you. I think I have a couple of supers to catch up on here. We have Ninetail. Well, let me click on this. Here, I'm gonna. What's that? That's what she said. Your pickle?
He's pretty fixated on this.
He is. Yeah. Caden Thunder ordered a pickle from Jimmy John's today and has been just nonstop pickle talk. Yeah.
big enough to make sandwich
You
size.
you greatly underestimated the size of the pickle. Nine-Tail Phoenix dropping the $5, said black hole for only wanting aesthetically pleasing friends. Agreed. And thank you for the super. Elise dropping a 5 as well. I wonder where he posted before on Reddit to save his relationship. Was it a bunch of Reddit bros telling him he's right?
Also,
His account is deleted now, so it's not aesthetically pleasing anymore to have negative comments, so I just got rid of it. Angel dropping the 2 said, well, not where I thought Candy's hands were going. I'm sure there was a moment of, oh shit, on her face as well when I started talking about her hands. And no, I wasn't taking it in a dirty direction.
Hands are too dry. There, I said it.
Not everybody can handle those pickles, twin mama.
Moving on from this.
All right. Hey, in particular order here for hitting the finger heart goal on the TikTok side.
I was right in front of you. The confetti sits right in front of you.
Shan loves to read in the number 1 spot with 2.1K. Tammy Purcell White at 1.6K. And the number 2 spot, TKP Nurse at 1.5K. Then we got Mela Oso, Overkill Mill, AK Mary, The Nonna, God's Blessed Wonder Woman, La Vida B, Pretty Shay, Martin Keywood, The Original Merm, Hoorn 2010, Mel C. Jane, Sherry Sosa, Candy Thunder, Amber Simmons, Elise Kutch, Lag Draws Trees, and Horrocks and 10th anniversary of Real Broad Zuba, Sylvia Quinn, Crystal Williams, Sarah Kira 9, KLN 518, Victoria Keel, Tabies Clark, Celestial Tumblers, Emmy Castro, Kellen Alford, Danny Elcour, I completely just made words up there. Danny Lore, Ducky Mama, Brittany, Ms. No, Sin Loves Music, Ellie Lou, Candy Koala, Erica Hawkins, Michaela McDougal, Crystal Museum Girl, Burlios, this guy you know, Jerry Lee Goforth, and Charlotte Arnold. Thank you so much for all the support. That was a long list of people there. Long list of fam there.
Why is it always the red?
I don't know. The red ones, they just like skip out on.
Yeah.
It's always the red confetti that doesn't actually get chopped up into confetti. It's just one long string. It's like the confetti tapeworm in every one. In every one of those. Okay, you have unlocked the spicy cake story and Tony Spark, and of course the confetti that just scared the pee out of Candy Thunder. Let me get the next goal set up here right quick. Next one is going to unlock a shitty story and Candy Thunder feedback. A shitty story. It's got to have something to do with poo. This is the shitty cake story, or the spicy cake story.
The other spicy story.
Can't type with confetti in my keyboard. Maybe that's where all the gremlins have come from. It's just confetti like stuck inside the computer somewhere. I did clean it out, so hopefully not. Okay, this is shitty story. If I could spell story correctly, plus candy feedback. Starting now, TikTok side, we're going for 100 paper cranes. Paper crane. I can't not say it like Denny Crane. Did anybody ever watch Boston Legal? Anybody? No? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've unlocked him. The one, the only, Tony Spark. Not playing the intro because I might screw something up, but let's bring him up, ladies and gents, and then we'll dive into our spicy cake story. Tony Spark!
Hello, people. It's just me and my dry hands and my ashy eye. This is weird. I think there might be some kind of randomly weird contagious disease in our office that is like located by me and Candy Thunder because we both have this spot right here on our eyelid. Right there.
Diagnosis.
And it's like dry. Like it's just this little dry spot. And I don't know what it is. Yeah. So, anyway, how's everybody doing? Paper cranes come flying in. What happened?
It's such a weird spot.
I know, it's just right there. Oh, Doroshko says Adolescence was awesome. It is a phenomenal show. I mentioned that during the VIP live, so for all of you other folk, if you are looking for a show to watch, Adolescence on Netflix. Which I saw is now the highest streamed limited something maybe on
Nice.
Netflix.
Well,
It's really good. It's heavy, so it's not gonna be like funny laugh, but
Severance
more episodes.
is over for now. So
I was gonna say you guys got to dive in now. Like dive into Adolescence because it's really good. Also, Severance, if that's not on your list, that needs to be on your list. Caden chimed in with White Lotus. I personally tried it. Couldn't do that. The Righteous Gemstones, if you're looking for that too, amazing. Uncle Baby Billy, Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers, it's great. The acting was amazing, and the fact that that kid is 13 years old and that was his first ever acting is unbelievable. I hope he wins like awards. Like I hope when it comes like an Emmy season and stuff, like that's so good. What?
You have to scroll up on TikTok. That somebody was asking you to marry them.
Marry you? Like which? Like officiate, because I am an ordained minister in the state of Missouri.
Tony missing the signals.
I'm,
Officiate? Yeah, sure.
I mean, well, people have asked, Mayor, will you like that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Tony gets proposed to all the time.
yeah, it just happens. I just have people always want to. Thank you. Yeah, my beard that I don't do anything special is an old razor. Yeah.
You not watched White Lotus?
I think I watched like one episode and start two, and I was just not super into it. I think I've got to commit to it. I've also somebody said The Pit too. The Pit is amazing. I just
You see poop.
I don't know. It's the same with I gave up on The Last of Us. I've decided I'm not going to do it. I made it through 3-ish episodes and I can't do it. And I just wasn't clicking. Emmys cover, yeah, I think so. The Emmys cover all that stuff because like things win. House of Cards won Emmys and all those Netflix shows. Netflix also spends a lot of money to make sure their movies win awards.
You've been proposed to multiple times since you've been up there.
Well,
Tony missing signals left.
I need to, as part of the vetting process, I need to see how many commas and zeros are in your bank account. That's my
Jumbo back.
Please send your
That's my
credit report
qualifying
to
factor.
Tony at
Please send your credit report, credit limit, and bank statement, please. Thank you. I can be very expensive, so I need somebody to support my lifestyle. Like I don't live an expensive lifestyle, but I would like to live an expensive lifestyle.
He plans on being very expensive.
That's what I said.
Like I don't live an expensive lifestyle, but I would like to.
That's what you said too.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to see how many digits are in your bank.
Elise, I would officiate that wedding on a beach. I mean, come on. I am officiating a wedding in March of next year. One of my very good friends asked me to.
Does it have to be the positive or negative?
Positives. I got the negative side covered. You cover the positive side. Like, we balance it out. My buddy, my best friend Nick, his mom used to say that him and I have champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yeah.
Is what we were always, what she always said about us. So, yeah.
Champagne tastes on water budget.
Free water.
Yeah.
Tap water.
Tap water, not bottled. Like it's just
Still pay for it.
garden hose. Like
Garden hose. There
yeah.
you go. Like the Midwest Hello.
You got that friend in the previous story. You got that friend that run background checks, right?
I thought you were married.
Not married.
Police, yes, absolutely. I don't live an expensive lifestyle. 20 concerts a year, multiple NASCAR races, football games, nights out on the town, Uber drivers knowing my name. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hence the reason I said I've got the negative side covered. Okay. Like,
Someone who can keep you in the style to which you'd like to become accustomed.
Garden hoses can get expensive.
Yep. Yep.
That's true.
We lost at least one when the shed went flying.
Oh yeah.
Probably a couple.
I don't go to 20 concerts. I've been to like 2 concerts in the last year. One was free. The other was $20.
You got
That's-
sweet at the
I call bullshit.
Which one? Oh, which one?
he who must not be named.
That was yeah.
That was last calendar year. He's
Yeah.
been to 2 concerts this calendar year. So,
You're just looking to be a sugar.
Like I just want money.
Sugar.
I just want to be able to say I want to go on a vacation, I want to buy something, and somebody buys it for me. Like, I just want to be able to swipe the card. Just swipe. Just like I don't want to have to sit and think and check my bank account before I buy or do something. Like, I would like very much to go on a beach vacation, but I would like somebody to pay for that. I would like to do a lot of things. Just somebody pay for it,
Yeah.
please.
Like offering to be the personal cabana boy here.
Like, I just like, I mean, I'll keep the house clean and I'll cook food.
He's a good cook.
I'm a pretty good cook. I can clean. I can't fix things, but I can call the guy to come fix things if you pay for it.
Sugar baby. There you go. Cutting Kate.
Like, if you pay for it, I'm down. You just like, I don't want to be told no if I want to buy something. I want to be able to go to a concert or go travel or go do, I just, somebody pay for it, please. Thank you. Goodbye.
Please send your applications to be Tony Sparks' sugar mama or sugar daddy to Tony at dusty-thunder.com. No, I wouldn't want to know if you're a good cook. I never got cook. Oh, at least never got cookies. He's a good cook. He's a very good cook. Jen, we do have a likes goal. It's not displayed up here. We have a likes goal of 100. What was it? What was the likes goal? 300K. 300K is the likes goal. I didn't run the progress bars because that requires I run another program, Stickfinity. Yeah, puzzle time. And with our tech issues, I'm trying to cut down on the number of programs that I have running right now. I've trimmed it way down. I am now just running basically 3. I've got OBS, TikTok Live Studio, and Chrome, and that's it. No more Adobe Audition running. My mastering thing, I know things sound a little bit different here. I've got a much more basic B audio mastering effects rack now, so it doesn't sound as good as it normally does, but I think it sounds okay. And we're trying to cut down and get more streamlined with it, and trying to make it work better and be less glitchy. So I know we still got some stuff to fight, but we're getting better. Never getting better. We're getting better. Books, coffee, tea, dropping a whole bunch of paper cranes there. Thank you for the love. Swish, MBW, Christina, aka Stina, Bammy Rose, Shan loves to read Dark Angel. I said Darth. Beth, Michelle, Stacey Lynn, Michelle again there, Big Bo, Jennifer Harrison, our lady, Big Bo again, and Hoddockson with the love. Thank you guys so much. We are at 46 of 1 hundo on the paper cranes, and we can dive into the spicy cake reward story now. I've had a lot of Lemmy stuff going on. Sorry. Are we doing the poll for this one? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This is a spicy cake reward story, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Staying Silent When My Pregnant Fiance Took My Daughter's Cupcake? Where... Okay, poll has started. Am I the astronaut for staying silent when my pregnant fiance took my daughter's cupcake? This sounds like a Kobayashi Maru if I ever heard one, but you don't get to take someone else's cupcake. It doesn't matter, right? Put those two on an even echelon, right? Like hold them to an even regard, both number ones, tied as your most important people in your life. One steals from another. You can't do that. So yeah, I'm gonna say you are an astronaut for that. So I'm gonna go 3 on this to start with. Oh, you know what? That's a good call. ESH, baby. Except for his daughter. But ESH. Lauren, ask on 1 because a child was involved. That's probably pretty good. ESH is everybody sucks here. Everybody sucks.
One took the cake.
Ask on 1 took the cake.
See what you did there.
And so did she. The cupcake. All right, let's dive in. This morning was really tough, and I don't know what to do. I'm 36, and I've been with my fiance, who is 33, for 3 years. I have a 10-year-old daughter from my previous marriage. Her mother passed away when she was 2.5. My fiance is currently pregnant. Yesterday, my daughter asked me to buy a giant cupcake from a bakery near my job. She wanted to surprise her friend at school for her birthday. While I was there, I also picked up an extra cupcake for my fiance. She ate hers right away. My daughter was really excited and carefully tied a ribbon around the box before putting it in the fridge so she could take it to school in the morning. Unfortunately, my fiance had a craving in the middle of the night and ate the other cupcake. That's a problem. When my daughter woke up, she was heartbroken. She started crying and shouting, devastated that the cupcake was gone. I asked my fiance why she did it, and she said her craving was so bad she just couldn't sleep. Then she snapped, "It's called being pregnant, jerks." My daughter, still incredibly upset, yelled that she hates her and the baby already. Oh, shit. I tried to calm things down and told her, "I'll buy you another one today and maybe drop it off so you can give it to your friend after school," but she just said, "Don't bother." Later, my fiance texted me saying that she was upset that I didn't stand up for her when my daughter was mean and that my daughter and I owe her an apology. Now I'm sitting in my car completely lost. Am I the astronaut for not standing up for my fiance? There is an update. Before we get into that, let's chat about this for a second. OP, I think the first misstep that you had here was your daughter asked you to go pick up a giant cupcake for her friend. While you were there, you picked up an extra one for your fiance. Why didn't you get an extra one for your daughter? That was the first red flag to me. Like, you were thinking about your fiance. The cupcake that you bought that your daughter asked you to get was for her friend at school. So you bought one for your fiance to eat, but not for your daughter to eat? That's shitty. Also, it was Minanisa. It is known that the cupcake that was in the fridge was for her friend. It was off limits. And yes, I understand that. I mean, I don't understand because I've never been pregnant before, but I imagine that cravings during pregnancy are really, really strong. I do not imagine that they ever push you over the edge of knowing what's right and wrong, right? I've never seen a pregnant woman start eating phone books because the craving took over. I don't buy that that's a thing. I think she made a choice. She made a decision that it was worth the pain that would be incurred by eating that cupcake. And it was so good, she just couldn't help herself. Or chose not to.
Cravings are intense, but they don't make you do this.
They don't make you
They don't make you an asshole.
cravings are intense, but they don't make you an asshole.
But they don't make you steal from a child.
Right. They don't make you steal from a child. They don't make you malicious.
Could have eaten something else. This was intentional.
Yes, this was intentional. Angel, you knew I would pick up on that? I'm like, bro, what? I don't. About the bakery thing, about not getting one for his daughter? Like, that's not okay. And I understand why you feel like you're in a Kobayashi Maru right now, because it's like a no-win situation. Your daughter's pissed, and probably pissed at you because you didn't take her side in this. Your fiance is pissed because you didn't take her side in this. But your fiance is clearly in the wrong here. She needs to apologize. Good luck getting your hungry, pregnant fiance who's already pissed off to apologize. But she was in the wrong. She was in the wrong. All right, are we going to Hermit for Hire? Good point here. Sensing an ongoing trend of disrespect and discourtesy toward the 10-year-old, she would have snapped eventually, and this just happened to be it. I don't blame the kid. Agreed. All right, here's the update. I did get the cupcake, but my daughter's best friend didn't come to school. I texted her dad to see if it was okay to drop it off at their place, and he said absolutely. My daughter was really happy. Okay, you get a little bit of a reprieve there, Dad, but hold up. When you were at the cupcake shop getting another one for her friend, did you buy one for your daughter finally? Probably not. On the way back, she apologized for being mean in the morning. I told her I understood. She had every right to be heartbroken. Then she asked, "Does your fiance hate me?" Here's your sign, Dad. I told her no, she's just disappointed in me, but that's grown-up stuff and has nothing to do with her. That led to a deeper conversation. She said she feels like my fiance doesn't like her sometimes. She never asks about her soccer games, and when she tries to share something exciting from school, my fiance tells her to stop being so chatty. The fuck?
Dear Lord.
I asked if she was maybe busy or in the middle of something, but my daughter said no. After a few times, she just stopped sharing. I asked if she wanted to stay at my parents' house for the night so I could have a serious talk with my fiance. She said yes. My mom and her are very close. So I talked to my fiance. She said she's sick of coming second and that it was just a stupid cupcake. She said I should have told her it was for the baby. I asked, what if our child wanted the cupcake? Would you have given it to her? She said, a 3 or 4-year-old? Yes, in a heartbeat. A 13 or 4-year-old can get over herself.
What the fuck?
I asked if she's always resented my daughter. She said, I never resented her, but you can't possibly expect me to love her as much as our child. I'll love yours like a niece, but my baby is my baby. Oh, you impregnated this bizzo, you dumbass. What are you doing? Why? Then I asked if she had actually called my daughter names when she was trying to talk. She admitted to calling her Yapathrone, and Little Miss has no mute button. She thought it was cute. I told her I can't marry somebody that bullies my child. She lost it, saying she doesn't even feel safe around my daughter anymore, that she's going to hurt her and the baby just because she said she hated us this morning and I stood there like a coward. She left for her parents' house and said that she's going to ban me from any appointments, the birth, and even seeing the baby. I'll be talking to a lawyer about what my next steps should be. You really stepped in it here, bro. And I don't mean by doing the wrong thing in this instance. I mean by impregnating this bizzo. She can't keep you from seeing the baby. You are going to have to go to court. You're going to have to get a custody agreement figured out. She seems like, at least at this point, the type of person who will talk all kinds of shit about you to the child, though, and try to paint you out to be the villain. But just know that if and when that happens, you may be able to use that to update that custody agreement. And this is the kind of person that at this point, it could be fueled by pregnancy, right? All of this could be fueled by pregnancy right now. Everything she's done before this point, you guys have been together for a couple of years now, right? Everything before this point and the mistreatment of your daughter is inexcusable. It's unacceptable. There's no unringing that bell. You can't do it. But maybe she'll become more civil later. That's the only hope here. That's the best you can hope for. Holy crap. So the question was, am I the astronaut for staying silent when my pregnant fiance took my daughter's cupcake? Yeah, you were, but you redeemed yourself. You redeemed yourself. I still don't think you got your daughter a cupcake, which, come on, man. But you're taking steps in the right direction. You're at least starting to figure it out. And you drew a boundary here for your daughter. And I think that's going to go a long, long, long ways. Like, it's not going to be unnoticed by your daughter that you and your fiance aren't together because you won't accept how she treated your daughter. That's huge. That's a huge deal. And yes, it's going to make your life more complicated. I don't know that it's going to make your life more complicated, actually. Your life would have been a level of complicated no matter what. Probably less complicated if you're not going to be as integrated with this bizzo. So you have graduated to NTA for me because you took steps in the right direction. Your horrible bizzo of a fiance here, though, is not only a bizzo, but for the way that she talked to and about your daughter, gets a DFHB rejection. And also, I'm sending her straight to Black Hole Town because it's just unacceptable. That's not just being an asshole. That's being a garbage human being. Garbage. She is garbage, you. Black hole. Kelly shot. So good that he and his daughter had a conversation. Yes, and it was probably long overdue. But being able to have that conversation and then being able to draw a line. And I'm surprised they didn't have this conversation, OP and fiance, sooner. But the fact that they finally had a conversation and the fiance is like, yeah, I will never love her like I'm going to love my baby. I'll love her like a niece, maybe. But she can fucking get over herself. Wow. Wow. Angel dropping the 5 on the YouTube side from OP's comments. He never checked in with his daughter, expected her to come with him if there were issues with fiance, a 9 to 10-year-old. Yeah. Said, look, dude, a 9 and 10-year-old doesn't know that they need to go to HR when there's a problem, all right? You got to check in with them. Good gravy. Hey, Pam McQueen, Shanlo 3, Cheeky Island Girl, Shay Shay, Melissa Elliott, CF Pelletier, author. Hey, it's been a hot minute. Good to see you. Emmy Castro, Sarah Kira, Uchina Ubas, Books, Coffee, Tea, Bammy Rose, Candy, Thunder with Paper Creams there too. Thank you so much. Hatter dropping the 10 said, can someone please explain to me, why do these women date men who have kids if you're not going to love that kid like they're your own? Please explain it to me. I think there's part of it where they have this delusion that they're going to be able to kind of overshadow them. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it won't be a problem. Oh, it'll be fine. She'll just be there, but I don't have to like care about her or anything. Or I'm going to consume so much of his attention that that'll be like she's not even there. Or maybe if it's bad enough, like she'll go live with grandma or something. Maybe that's what they're thinking here, but I don't think they accept the reality of what they're getting into for sure. They don't address it. They just pretend like it doesn't exist and then keep pretending like they don't exist. And how tough, like as a kid, to go through that. But seriously, Dad, I think this is a big step that is going to strengthen your daughter's relationship with you, and it's going to go a long way. And you're better off not being with someone and having a good relationship with your children than you are being with someone like this, for sure. Hey, TKP Nurse sending out some gifted subs, 8 of them, to Ducky Danielle, Kelly Shot, Jen Walker, Jennifer Harrison, heyo, Emma Lane, Amanda Cox, and Tree Witch, all receiving gifted subs here. Ryan 88 as well. Welcome to the Gosh Jacket fam, all y'all. Welcome. She wants this man but cannot accept his past. Yeah, it's a package deal. But some people enter these relationships determined that they can separate their past from them and somehow make it go away. Hey, Zelda with the bloomin' ribbons. Thanks so much for that. Very cool. Thank you. Okay, we're at 54 of 1 hundo on the paper cranes, which unlocks a shitty story and candy feedback. Shitty, we're assuming, means poo. Until then, I think I'm back to regularly scheduled 5. Is that correct? I think I am getting sick for reals. My throat is starting to feel like it's got like gravel stuck in it. My throat feels like dry hands.
Don't accept the premise.
Don't accept the premise. I don't know, man. It's starting to hurt. Ah. Good point. Shenanigans. He also learned to watch for red flags with future partners. Yep. Mandy, how long are you usually on for? Typically on Wednesdays, I'm on from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time. So we've got about 13 minutes left in this live. It's just allergies. Yeah. Miss Amazing, it is like Oprah. You get a sub. There have been a lot of gifted subs running around today. It's very cool. All right, let's dive into the next story here. Hey there, it's Dusty once again with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for prioritizing my girl BSF during a time of grief over my girlfriend? My girl best friend? Okay. Am I the astronaut for prioritizing my girl best friend during a time of grief over my girlfriend? Okay. I feel like I'm going to reorder words here a little bit just to make it more clear. Am I the astronaut for prioritizing my girl best friend over my girlfriend during a time of grief? I think it's dangerous. Whose time of grief was it? Yours? I have questions. I think, here, let's do this. I think it's dangerous. And while you were probably fine doing what you needed to do here, doing it without causing damage to the relationship with your girlfriend, I think is probably your goal. So while I don't believe you're an asshole for like leaning on a friend during that time, in your girlfriend's mind, you have to realize that you probably would be the asshole. So finessing that situation to not do damage is something that you probably could have done differently, or maybe should have done differently, but we'll see. I'm going 4. Magic drop. You've seen these stories. It doesn't turn out well. That's true. Hey, Stina dropping the paper cranes there. Shay dropping the figure hard. Thank you so much. Hey, Stina running hard at those paper cranes. Heck yeah. Kellen Alford, Ash Tay, Cheeky Island Girl, Candy Thunder, Julia US. Thank you so much. Real Broad, see you up there too. Misfit Mama, Triggy. Thank you. Bearded Hay, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I've got the glasses on because I have a headache. And I've got the clouds button up. They're clouds. They're little, you can't see them from this distance, but they're little tiny clouds. It's perfect. All right, let's dive in. Title again was Am I the Astronaut for Prioritizing My Girl Best Friend Over My Girlfriend During a Time of Grief? I'm 19 male and have been seeing someone, 19 female, I'll call her Alice, for 3 months. This is way different than what I had envisioned in my head. Also, Zelda with You're Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. That's like a very active teddy bear in that animation. Things were going great. We're both in our second year of uni, same course, same sports club, and share a lot of interest. I genuinely thought that we were perfect together. Before Alice, during my first year, I moved to a new country for uni and didn't know anyone. That's when I met Lucy, also 19 female, who became a close friend. She helped me settle in and introduced me to people who are now my closest friends. I developed feelings for her during that time, and I heard she might have felt the same, but we never acted on it. When I started dating Alice, I was honest about Lucy, about our friendship and the past feelings. I also told her that I no longer felt that way and was choosing to be with her. I thought that honesty would help. For the first 2 months, things were good. I introduced Allie and Lucy, and while they got along on the surface, I sensed some tension. Then 3 weeks ago, Lucy's mother passed away from melanoma. Naturally, I wanted to support her, so I started spending more time with her, less with Alice. I explained this to Alice, and she seemed to understand. During this time, Lucy confessed she still had feelings for me. I didn't know how to respond. She was grieving, and I didn't want to reject or abandon her in that state, but I realized now I should have told Alice immediately. You know what? We'll go ahead and throw this out here. On Friday, I took Lucy out for dinner, just to cheer her up. It was a great place we used to go last year. Afterward, she suggested we go to a bar. I called Alice to check and thought she sounded a bit reluctant. She said, okay. Sorry, I screwed that up. I called Alice to check, and though she sounded a bit reluctant, she said, okay. We had drinks, talked, and I walked Lucy home. At her door, she kissed me. I did not kiss back and did not go inside. I waited until the next morning when I was sober to tell Alice. I met her at a cafe and told her everything. She was furious and said I had to cut Lucy off completely. I refused, mainly because the funeral was coming up and I felt like I needed to be there for Lucy. Alice told me to go fuck myself and walked out. Since then, I've tried to reach her, calls, visits, but nothing. I tried to give her space and wait. In the meantime, I've still been there for Lucy, though we haven't talked about the kiss. Am I the astronaut? I know I messed up by not telling Alice about Lucy's confession and by letting the kiss happen, but it wasn't intentional. I didn't want any of this to spiral. I just was trying to support a grieving friend, not hurt my girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, he's the asshole. Yeah, dude, this, okay. Let's get this out of the way first. This was a brozo move. Come on, man. Okay. I think the easiest way to look at a situation like this, OP, is to put yourself in your partner's shoes. If your girlfriend was friends with somebody last year and she had feelings for him and he might have had feelings for her, you probably wouldn't be too keen on them hanging out. Especially if your girlfriend started hanging out with him more than you, no matter what the reason was. You would think it was a breach of trust. You would think it would be sus behavior. And then for the confession of still having feelings to happen and you still hang out with them, that makes it worse. That escalates it. And then for the kiss to happen, it escalates it even further because now you're not saying like, look, I've set a boundary. We talked. I've made sure she knows that I do not have feelings for her like that. No, you didn't even reject her because you didn't want to hurt her feelings. So what, are you going to have sex with her because you don't want to hurt her feelings too? Like, where's the line, man? Where's the line of respect? You have to establish it at some point here. And your girlfriend's not wrong for feeling the way that she feels right now and saying basically like, look, if you cannot respect having her as a friend and not crossing a boundary, then you can't have her as a friend. And you're like, well, no. And she's like, well, then go fuck yourself. I'm out. What do you expect her to do? What result do you expect? Also, Angel, yeah, with $5 super on the YouTube side, 19, that's dating 3 months. That's usually where I stopped reading. You all have a lot of growing up to do. Take notes and move on, dude. Yeah, these folks are young. This is young love, right? 3 months. You've been in this relationship for 3 months, and you just blew it up. It's over. Take it as a note. It sounds like your relationship is blooming or blossoming with Lucy anyway. So this is a learning experience, though. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and think about the situation you're looking at, reverse it, and see how you would feel. Man, y'all, man. Hey, did you hit that 300K? Hey, you did. You hit the 300,000 likes. Way to go, team. Way to go, team. Hey, you all have also hit the paper crane, so we're gonna go a few minutes long, and we're going to read the shitty story too. Hey, yo, what's up, Tater Rooney? You good? Trying to balance 30 things at once? Teamwork makes the dream work. And Thoroshko, I'm tired. I hope you all like I know you endure a lot of pain to help achieve that, and I greatly appreciate it. I don't want you to not enjoy the show, though. Like, if you can do that and enjoy the show, great. But if you ever find it being a detriment to actually enjoying things, then don't do it. We appreciate it, but don't cause yourself harm. Wendy Taylor, yay 300K. Thanks all for tapping. Hey, yo. Hey, Shaz, CJ, Linda loves cats. Zelda with your amazing Terry. Angie, thank you guys so much. We hit the paper crane goal, I think. Let me see. Yeah, can I get a list for that? For what of yous? We'll give some thanks for this, and then we'll move over to the poopy story. In particular order here, at 2K is Misfit Mama. Then we've got Stina in the number 2 spot at 1.4K. God's Blessed Wonder Woman at 1.2K in the number 3 spot. Then we got Books, Coffee, Tea, Big Hearted Boo, Bailey Chapman, Candy Thunder, Ann Hodgson, Real Broad Zuba, Emmy Castro, Mela Oso, Amber Simmons, Melcy Jane, Cheeky Island Girl, XOXO, Ruby Redhead, Jennifer Harrison, Kellen Alford, Bammy Rose, Ms. Clearly Unclear, Hoorn, Elise Kutch, Sherry Sosa, Shan Loves to Read, and Sarah Kira. Thank you all so much for the love and helping us unlock that poopy story. We're going to dive into it right now. I will go ahead and set up another goal, but we'll carry it over into VIP, and that is for an astronaut helmet, and Caden Thunder, and confetti. Yeah, I hear you. I'm going to go and set it up, and we'll let it carry over.
Shitty story and then start next week.
Next week will be started with the spicy story.
Oh, okay. So we're going to read the poopy story and start next week with the spicy story. Oh, yeah, because the YouTube side as well. Yep. Thank you. Thanks for keeping things straight, y'all.
The poopy story is a poopy story plus.
Poopy stories. Okay. It's poopy story plus update poopy. It's a poopy story plus a dingleberry. Shitty reward story. All right, here we go. Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder. That happened. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with a shitty story for you. This one is from True Off My Chest and goes like this. I'm a school bus driver who had to emergency poop in a garbage can mid-route while my daughter watched in horror.
I didn't choose it.
Not going to do a poll for this one. Let's just dive right in. I never thought this would happen, but today I had to take a desperate full-force emergency dump in a garbage can while driving a school bus. And to make matters worse, my daughter was on the bus with me. It started with a mild stomach cramp before work, nothing serious. I ran into the office bathroom, told my boss I have a bellyache, I'll be 10 minutes late, and sat there sweating and groaning, but nothing came out. Oh, that's the worst. When it feels like you have to, but you can't. Like, oh, I know it's going to come at some point, and you're getting on a bus to drive it. Oh my gosh. I figured maybe it passed. Spoiler, it did not. Minutes later, I'm on the road. My gut starts boiling. Cramps hit like a truck. I know that diarrhea is coming. No bathrooms nearby. No time. No way I'm making it. I slam the brakes, secure the bus, and immediately start panicking. My daughter's right there watching. I have seconds. There's only one option. The bus garbage can. I grab it, yank my pants down, squat, and unleash pure hell. The smell, indescribable. The shame, immeasurable. The relief, unmatched. Meanwhile, my daughter is staring at me in horror. Daddy, are you pooping? Me, mid-crisis. Yes, sweetheart. Give me the Kleenex box and be quiet. I love you. At this point, I'm just praying no one in the surrounding houses are looking out their window. Then reality hits. I have a full garbage can of fresh steaming diarrhea, and my first pickup is 30 seconds away. I cannot let the kids onto a bus that smells like this. So, in sheer desperation, I do the only thing I can think of. I open the window and throw the bag out. The moment I start driving again, my boss radios me. Boss, hey, how late do you think you'll be? Me, sitting in the aftermath of my own horror, sweating profusely, trying to sound normal. About 20 minutes. He 100% knew. Fast forward to the afternoon run. I'm driving the same route when I see another bus ahead of me violently swerving. I assume it's dodging a dead animal. Nope. It's my bag. It had been run over multiple times. My shit was now smeared across the street. To make matters worse, I had just waved at the driver. She waved back, but her face said everything. She knew. She knew something was horribly wrong. And my boss saw me run into the office bathroom before my shift, saw me pull over 30 seconds before my first stop, then radioed me the exact moment I started moving again. He never asked me what happened. He knows. He just doesn't want to acknowledge it. So yeah, today I took an emergency dump in a school bus garbage can, threw it out the window, and then saw it get flattened by traffic hours later, all while my daughter watched in horror.
Oh my God.
Top comment and a bonus story. Used to drive a school bus. The shit fear is so goddamn real. There's two types of bus drivers. The ones who have shit their pants and the ones who will. That's all. My horror, I had a rural is a really hard word to say. Rural. My horror, I had a rural route, thank God, but it was the middle of winter, 20 below zero, and my first stop is at the top of a mountain in the school bus turnaround. Like you, I had the burgles before leaving and got nothing. Oh, the noises, though. It was almost 50 miles to my first stop, a designated turnaround, a cul-de-sac on the side of the road. Parents would come right about the time of depart time and drop off kids. I was going up the pass, and I didn't know if my asshole sensed the oncoming last chance, or if some demon of shit stirring was having a laugh, but I had to go. There was no question. I was looking at that fucking trash can, swear to God, but it was bolted to the floor by the step under the bright yellow handrail. I couldn't imagine having to find a way to hurdy-gurdy my fat ass under there and not break me, it, or some other thing. And what if I missed? What about the fire extinguisher? Man, if I slipped, that handle is going right up my bungus. No. So I floored it to get to my first stop early, shut down, secure the bus, get it quiet up there at the mountaintop, but where to shit? Oh, Jesus, it was winter, and the snowbanks made a wall like the one Jon Snow defended all around, nowhere to flee. And then I saw it, the plan, the ass end of the bus. I could penguin waddle under there and sit my ass on the axle and fucking gotta go. And off I went, waddle, waddle, groaning in agony as the folding myself in half pressurized the shit, and I barely got my pants down, and my ass touched that snow-covered sub-zero axle, and relief. My God. Headlights. Fuck. How would I explain if they got here before I got out from under the bus what happened? Where was your bus driver? No, nowhere. No, gotta go. Pulled the leftover Taco Bell napkin out of my pocket and did the deed and made a hasty retreat. I got into my bus seconds before the first car rolled up and let a kid out. Started my bus. It was like a rebirth, that shit. Something changed from that day on. Some knowing thing. Only I would know. And now, you. Shit on, bus brother. Shit on. I'm like, not the leftover Taco Bell napkin. I'm like, well, now you know.
No, you know why you should.
Now you know why. Yeah. It's like
Story, and then I laughed harder when I found the comment. Caden found
the comment. Yeah, that's fantastic.
the comment. Well written.
Everybody's got a poop story, right? I don't know if I've told any of mine. Candy Thunder, Deer in the Headlights. Look, I won't today. We're out of time.
I feel like in that desperate of a situation, a Taco Bell napkin is not gonna.
Taco Bell napkin ain't gonna cut it. Those are one ply. Those are.
Taco Bell napkin is not.
It ain't gonna cut it. It ain't gonna. That's for sure. It ain't gonna cut it. I've got a couple though. I've got a couple stories. We'll have to save those for a later date. You told the women's restroom one. I was thinking one years prior. Yeah. The The one where the gal had the key, but she got distracted. No, I'll tell it later. It takes too long to tell.
So which is worse, the second one or the?
Which one of these situations is worse? I don't know. I feel like having to shit in like sub-zero temperatures. I'd be. Yeah, the kid having to sit there and watch, like, that's terrible. That's traumatizing for the kid. But that's traumatizing for both of them. I would be really worried about the sub-zero temperatures creating a shit sickle that like as I was pooping in that freezing cold, like it froze. And then I would be worried about a shit sickle. But they're both bad. I don't think I could choose one that's worse than the other. That's wild. That's wild. Brie Wilkie. Hey, Linda loves cats with a tiny there too. I'm going to play some music as we go out and hope it doesn't all fall apart. Sarah Barracuda, Kim, Books Coffee Tea, Forest on Fire, CJ. Thank you so much for the love there. Forest on Fire, subscribing for the first time to become a member of the Gosh Heck fam on the TikTok side. Hells yes. Welcome to the fam. Stephanie, CJ, Sarah Barracuda, Deidre, Stacy Lynn, Angie, Shaz, CJ, Linda loves cats there again. Zelda, Terry, you guys are awesome. Shit on, bros, brother. Shit on. Tin Heiku had to take an emergency piss in a sewer grate when you were a kid in back-to-back traffic going to Tokyo Disneyland. Feel the bus drivers out there, LOL. Wouldn't the streaming poop melt the snow? If it's cold enough, though. You've seen the things where they got a glass of water and they throw it in the air and it like crystallizes midair. If it's sub-zero, it could get cold enough to where it's just like insta-freezes. I've never seen a shit sickle, and I don't plan on it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pivot over to the VIP live here. Give us about 10 to 15 minutes to get that set up, and then we'll be on there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I am very, very glad that we at least got things cured enough to be able to do the show today. So big round of applause to the whole team for making this thing happen. I know we still have some things to iron out, but it was functional enough to get through today. So, hooray for that. And it's only upward from here. We'll just keep evicting them and keep getting this thing straightened out. So thank you again for hanging out with us, for supporting the show, for loving what we do. And you VIPs who are super amazing. We'll see you here in about 10 to 15. We'll see ya. Oh, and big thanks to Tessa for shadowing and jumping in today. I think Navy Thunder's still here, isn't she? Oh yeah, don't forget, YouTube VIP Live tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central. We'll see you there.